Something happened to me as a result of this series which really changed my writing life. When I was trying to explain it to the readers, it was really hard to do it. And I felt that the articles would be too involved to make people understand. And then something happened to me which I remember to this day. I used to drive around that empty desert, and a handful of people had basically, because they had given their life savings, not as a down payment, but to pay for a house there, which they were promised. They flew down there and there was nothing there, and they had no money, and they had to live there. So they built their own homes, really tar paper shacks with corrugated tin roofs. And I came to the top of a rise, and there was this vast valley, vast, and in the middle of it was this one figure of this woman whose name was Millie Sanderson. And I drove down and I saw that what she was carrying were 2 water buckets. And what I saw was she was elderly. So the nearest water to her home, to the home site that she had bought, was a half mile away. It was a pipe, simply a pipe sticking out of the ground. And every ounce of water that she had to use for anything, bathing, washing dishes, drinking, she had to carry a half a mile. And I suddenly just thought to myself that the way to tell the story was to tell her story. That if I told her story right, people would see what these con men were doing to the widows of policemen and firemen. The headline on the original story is, "Alone in the Desert, Her Dream Fades." That was the first time, really, that I thought of something that I've been trying to do ever since, which is to show what happens to individuals when something is done to them or for them. And I realized that to tell the story of Robert Moses or Lyndon Johnson, if I wanted to write about political power the way I wanted to write about it, I couldn't just write about how power is acquired and how it is used by powerful men, by officials. I had to write also about the effect of that power on the people on whom or for whom it's used. On whom, for example, the people, hundreds of thousands of people that were dispossessed, evicted from Robert Moses's projects, hounded out like cattle with no place for them to go, or for them, Lyndon Johnson bringing electricity to the hill country, changing their lives. That's one of the reasons why my books are long, because I want to show in detail, in as much detail as you talk about the powerful, the powerless. That all started, really, when I drove over that ridge that day and saw the figure of Millie Sanderson in this vast desert below me.